Dear sons and daughters of planet Earth, I am Mary. I always carry a cloak with me. And I can wrap each one of you with it, leaving all my love, my peace, my light. Put on this cloak and be balance. Only balance. My sons and daughters, review the lessons. Go back to your notebooks. Go back to studying. The time of teachings is over, but the teachings are there. Go back to reading. Assimilate again everything that has already been said. Let me give you an example. At some point in your journey, you learned something, it touched your heart, and you began to live what you understood, in your own way, the way you understood it at that time. But you were still on the lowest rungs of the evolution of that school. Today, if you take all that material and read it again or listen to it again, it will not be the same. Because you have already learned so much more. So, that small point, from that distant time, begins to have another context. A larger context, a deeper context. But the teaching is the same. Not a single word has changed. So, why the difference? Because you have changed. Your consciousness has expanded. Today, you can see much further. So, that way you understood, which was not very well established, will today be able to open new horizons for you. Do not think that everything that has been said is in the past, because every teaching we leave resonates in the present day. Go back to studying. Go back so that you can understand each subject more deeply. And I would say that you will be able to absorb much more than you absorbed back then. And you will be truly surprised at your capacity for understanding, for learning. Unfortunately, some of you remain outside the classroom. And then, when someone leaves, they ask, "How was class today? What did you learn?" They always want the other person to teach them what they did not want to waste time learning. So, put the understanding in the hands of others. Because it will be passed on to them according to the other person's concept. Not yours. At no point do you think about going into the classroom. No, you want everything ready. You want your classmate to explain the material, without you having to spend time studying. You think it's easier that way. You think you're not wasting time. So I tell those who sit outside the classroom that you're not learning anything. Because you're listening to what others are interpreting, not what your souls would make you understand. And on the day of the test, you won't have the knowledge to take the test. Because you didn't give yourself over to that moment in the classroom to learn. You stayed outside, playing, having fun, living, as you say. And then waiting for someone to give you everything ready. So I tell you, you won't get anywhere. You won't pass the year. You won't learn the material. I am making comparisons here, my sons and daughters, as if you were students in a school. And I can say that this comparison is perfect, because you have had a long time of learning. Many have absorbed it. Many have not. Many have arrived halfway. And precisely because they are halfway, they want everything ready, they do not want to start at the lowest level, with all the learning that was done in the sequence that was presented, in order to learn. No, they want to start at the highest level. Thinking that they already know everything. You have all been to school. Each level becomes more difficult than the previous one. So, how can you want to enter a higher level without having the foundation? Without having the lower levels? You think you are learning. You are learning everything wrong. Everything crooked. And you continue to stand outside the classroom, always asking others what to do, how to do it, because you do not know. You have not learned. You did not go to the first level to learn. You are lazy. Not in the real sense of life, but lazy in learning. You want everything at your fingertips. They don't want to work, they don't want to waste time reading anything, listening to anything. They want to have a slight idea of what it is, and that's good enough. But then they can't understand anything, because they don't have the basis of the first levels. My sons and daughters, the road is long. Those who started back there know that the road is long. They know that the journey wasn't easy. So don't try to arrive from nowhere now, and already want to be at the same level as everyone else, who has been there for a long time. Each one goes through their own setbacks to get here. Don't try to get ahead of everyone. Don't try to be better than everyone else. Sit there at the first level. And study very quickly. Climb very quickly so that there's time for you. Then you can answer me, so that's why I want to get there first, so that there's time. No. That's not how you'll gain time, because you won't have the basis to understand anything. You'll get everything wrong and you won't get there either. The time has been given. The time to awaken has been given to many. And many have turned their backs. At this moment, they regret it, they want to make up for lost time. But everything, my sons and daughters, has consequences. You ignored it back then. Now you want to do everything in a hurry. It won't do any good. Everything needs to start at the beginning, so that you have the basis for understanding. Many need to realize that your time has not stopped. It continues to accelerate. So, nothing is stopped in time. So don't think that you will enter now and it will take the same time as those who have been here for so long. The process began back then. I'm not saying that you won't achieve anything. Yes, you will. Because each step towards evolution is never wasted. And it will depend a lot on your dedication, your will, your desire. You will get to where everyone is here now, quickly. But I tell you, there is a lot to be done, and there won't be enough time. But don't take it literally and say that it's no use anymore. Take care of your evolution. Keep walking. Nothing will be lost. You think it's not worth it because there won't be enough time. Who knows? It will depend much more on you than on what's happening around you. So, keep going. But don't you want to get into the front ranks, out of cleverness, laziness, or because you don't want to go through everything everyone else has gone through? Then I'll tell you, it won't do any good. Because you won't have a foundation. You'll put a bunch of cards in place and eventually they'll fall apart. Because you don't have a solid foundation. You skipped the foundation. Then you'll lose everything. All your effort to stay where you shouldn't be will take you back there. And you'll waste all that time you spent trying. So I ask you, wouldn't it have been better if you had gone back to the beginning? At least I guarantee you that you wouldn't have lost anything. My sons and daughters, pay attention to the path. We're not joking. We're not passing on illusions to you. But you need to act as you've learned. Stop trying to be smart and take bigger steps than you are allowed to. Stop standing outside the classroom asking people who leave what happened inside. Attend the class. Be a part of it. Donate your time in class. Donate your ideas. Because you are not learning anything, you are fooling yourself, thinking that by learning the material from your classmate, you will achieve the same as those who attended the class. Some people seem not to learn. They continue living their lives normally, as they used to. Then, when they remember, they want to join the game. Then they run to school and ask their classmates for the material. They will learn nothing. They have learned nothing. Think about it, my sons and daughters. Don't think that the journey is not worth it. It is worth it for the evolution. No matter where you get to. It is worth the evolution of your soul. And everything that is for evolution is never lost. You may not achieve what you want, even at this moment. But you tried and you evolved. And you will continue your journey towards evolution. Nothing will be lost. Be careful about this. Leave the cleverness to those who are immersed in the third dimension. Be wise, not clever.